れた人間がどれほどのものかと思ったな。とんだ雑魚だったようだ。
The thought of being the absolute weakest member of the hero's party is certainly not a pleasant feeling. Even his other teammates believe he is the weakest, but in the end, they could turn out to be wrong and he is indeed more powerful than they thought. So today's video will be looking at 10 weak-looking anime protagonists who turn out to be more powerful. If you are new around here, then please make sure that you subscribe to the channel with the notifications bell icon turned on to stay up to date with the latest anime news and recommendations right at your doorstep. Now, without keeping you all waiting, let us begin with the video. Starting this list off with Arifureta from Commonplace to the World's Strongest, a popular yet flawed isekai anime due to its terrible CGI in the first season. However, its epic story and characters truly make up for how good this anime is. The protagonist Nagumo was betrayed and kicked out of his party due to him being the absolute weakest member of the class of everyone else, sending him to the bottom of the dungeon levels to rot to death. But upon eating a monster, however, that changes everything as his transformation took place, making him a different and stronger being. It's such a cool revenge-like story of how he climbs up back to the surface, reunite with his class, and show the world just how powerful he has truly become. Next up on the list we have is The Rising of the Shield Hero, one of the best isekai anime for its first season that purely focused on a great revenge storyline that kinda, quickly went downhill in its second season. Kinema Citrus are the creators of this anime, and Shield Hero had a great story. Naofumi, the Shield Hero, the weakest of the other heroes, gets framed for something he really didn't do and was banished from the kingdom where everyone hated his guts. It's such a thrilling experience to watch someone like Naofumi prove everyone wrong that the Shield Hero is in fact useful and he can do things no other hero can accomplish. Maybe he is even stronger than the other heroes, who knows? But definitely check out The Rising of the Shield Hero. But just a heads up, you might end up getting, kind of disappointed with the second season. Both Studio Flat and Wolfsbane are the creators of this anime, and I thought I'd get into the seasonal anime because it looked good despite it being generic and an isekai, which is somehow synonymous with modern fantasy, but that is a debate for another time. But anyhow, Banished from the Hero's Party is an exceptional anime with the correct amount of everything mixed perfectly, enough for it to be taken seriously without any kind of creases being visible, enough for it to tumble on itself as quickly as it started out. It's even good enough to come up with thought-provoking ideas. Now we follow the protagonist Red, who is a D-rank adventurer who was banished from the hero's party when the rest of his team surpassed him in skill and level. He decides to now live a more quiet life, opening his own pharmacy shop to aid people that way, just, like that, instead of fighting. Beast Tamer is a newly airing anime series that features a protagonist who is the weakest member of the hero's party for his class being a Beast Tamer. He can't really fight or be useful, but just tames monsters, so his teammates kinda despised him and in the end just, kicked him out of the group. I'd be lying if I said this wasn't generic because it truly is. However, it's pretty decent so far from what I watched. He even meets a rare species called Cat Spirit, whom she joins him on his adventure to become much stronger. This anime is being made by Studio EMT Squared, and visual-wise, they really aren't the greatest when it comes to good-looking anime and neither story, but so far, I am very pleased with what I'm showcased in Beast Tamer. Now we're taking a look at an anime by the name of The Fruit of Evolution, created by Studio Hotline in the year 2021, and this anime for some reason gets a lot of hate. I don't know why. I thought it was pretty fun, and at no point did I really want to stop watching. It kept me out of my own head for a little while, which is what really matters to me a lot. Nothing new, nothing groundbreaking, and you can see everything coming from a mile away. It's so predictable, but what's wrong with that? I've dropped many shows that are quite similar to this, but for some reason I never had the urge with this one. Oddly enough, it actually entertained me a lot. It was light, simple, cheesy, and so much fun. I'm actually glad that I found it and recommended it, as it's such a time killer. As long as your expectations are realistic, you might enjoy it. Personally, I'm actually really excited for the second season coming really soon.
王に颯を習得しました。
Rokka no Yuusha, Brave of the Six. This anime is one of the most impressive fantasy anime I've ever witnessed, and I describe Rokka no Yuusha as a fantasy show that is more than just about swords, fighting, or even saving the world. Now, as a show with such a colorful cast of characters, we are also introduced to the other heroes. All of them possess their own unique traits, personalities, and also abilities. However, the protagonist Adalit claims to be the strongest man in the world, and you best believe it. He doesn't have any kind of, superpowers or magic, but he has a whole arsenal of gadgets and uses trickery to fight his opponents with surprises they wouldn't even expect. Studio Passion has come a long way, and I actually really enjoyed the studio a lot. They have done some good and some bad anime, but overall, I believe that Rokka no Yuusha is their best work yet. Danmachi is a textbook example of an anime that is truly a guilty pleasure in its own right. It doesn't have the most impressive writing, there are tons of cliches and fan service, and the pacing is sometimes questionable, but even so, it never ever fails to be so entertaining, which is something I can't say for most anime. Danmachi follows a very popular trend in recent years of having a setting that takes place entirely within an MMORPG game world. However, the difference this time, is that it actually doesn't. Instead, the story takes place in the character's real world. It's not an isekai, but their real world functions like a game. Adventurers gain experience points, earn loot, level up, gain skills, magic, and etc. The protagonist Bell starts weak, like, many other protagonists do, and slowly he becomes stronger to the point where he can stand his own ground. Black Clover is one of my most favorite shonen series of all time, and one of the few long-running series that I've seen. You guys remember how many people, just hated Black Clover at first due to the protagonist Asta? Well, now this anime is one of the most popular and most talked about series by the community. Black Clover is a show that is in many ways the embodiment of its protagonist's struggle. Asta goes from being the laughingstock of a town to the absolute savior of the kingdom. Now, during that internal journey, we also watched the anime gradually evolve and get better. As time went on, the production quality seemingly increased as the popularity increased as well. Asta's journey is so extremely satisfying and well written. It's done so well, in fact, that it feels like we've been on this journey right with Asta. Everyone loves a good underdog story. There is no bigger underdog than Black Clover. Tatoeba Last Dungeon is one of those hidden gems of the season, plain and simple. It's nothing revolutionary or mind-blowing, but it's fun, and at the end of the story, that's what this anime is about. What I like the most about the series is the fact that it doesn't take itself too seriously. Tatoeba, it knows it has a very powerful protagonist with a harem and all the generic fantasy tropes that we've come to expect from this genre, yet it pulls them off in a satisfying way. The effective use of comedy and banter throughout the series creates a really fun and light atmosphere that makes every episode seem like a 5-minute short. The characters have their own fun, quirky feel and unique to them in the context of the story, and their relationships with the main characters character are such a blast to watch. The story isn't much to write about, you know, but you won't even notice because you'll be too busy laughing your ass off in literally every episode. Now finally on this list I'm recommending to you all is the hidden dungeon only I can enter, a generic fantasy series yet super entertaining in every way possible. You can argue that, you know, the hidden dungeon is yet another generic fantasy anime with an ecchi harem plot, and you'll be right because it never pretends to be something else than generic fantasy anime with an ecchi harem plot. Now, you know, this anime centers on Noir, who is an excluded noble because of his low peerage. However, Noir has the unique power of consulting a sage to help him in varied circumstances, but severely draining his energy as an after effect. However, but one day, after wandering about in the land, he got lost in a dungeon and met a young, immobile woman called Olivia, who only communicates by mental waves and telepathy and gives him new powers to survive. And with the help of his girlfriend Emma, the receptionist Lola, and eccentric elf Luna, Noir will try to become a hero and your average merchant. You just made it to the end of the video and witnessed 10 weak-looking anime protagonists who turned out to be more powerful. If I have managed to leave any anime out in particular that you thought would be a great addition on the list, then please let me know in the comment section down below, as I'd love to hear your very own opinion, or just comment down below what you thought of the video in general, as I'd always appreciate the feedback. So enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll be seeing you all in the next one.